Welcome to Watch, Review, Repeat. This is the podcast where two best friends discuss the latest in film and television and then do it all over again the following episode. My name is Colton Brown. Joining me is Andrew Meadows.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. I'm doing well. Indeed, it is an afternoon. It's a nice Saturday afternoon that we're recording an episode about Sonic the Hedgehog 2. It's I think almost maybe probably quite literally a week exactly from when I was in the theater watching this film. It was a Saturday afternoon that I found myself watching it in Dolby Cinema, and a week later I find myself sitting here reminiscing about the times that I spent watching Sonic the Hedgehog 2 in theaters. No, I'm excited to talk about it. I think we have a fun episode on tap. We're back on track with another quote-unquote regular episode. So hopefully everyone has enjoyed. Obviously, kind of going all over the place with kind of what we've been covering lately between the Oscars. I guess Turning Red was a sort of regular episode, but we just kind of recorded it in two chunks, so that made it a little different than our usual stuff. And then we had a bonus episode that was put up on the regular feed for Studio 666 most recently. So here we are talking about Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Good. I've got a couple brews. I went to a new comic book store today, so that was cool.
Very nice.
We left early because this is Easter Saturday.
It's a holiday weekend.
Yeah,
I had Good Friday off. Can you believe that shit?
Yeah, I can believe
Courts
it.
were closed. Courts were fucking closed, man. It was awesome.
Yeah, so it's good. It's good.
Very good.
I do have some tantalizing information for you. Maybe a fun fact, if you will.
Oh, my goodness. Please continue.
One of my favorite nostalgic actors, or one of my favorite actors from my childhood, is starring in none other than Sonic the Hedgehog. One Jim Carrey. And reportedly, this is his... last film, his last movie. He's retiring from acting. Maybe. Yep. So, it's kind of sad.
Wow. Yeah. End of an era. He said, I pulled up the exact quote. He was asked about it, and he said, I'm retiring. Yeah, probably. I'm being fairly serious. He says, it depends. If the Angels bring some sort of script that's written in gold ink that says to me that it's going to be really important for people to see, I might continue down the road, but I'm taking a break. So, I don't know. I mean, is Sonic 3 going to have some gold ink in it? I don't know. I don't know if that's enough to tempt the man back, but hey, we'll talk about it, obviously, when we talk about the film. But if this is it,
and good
the man
news
was having
too,
the time of his life.
The creators of this Sonic franchise have said that they will not recast Robotnik.
So they'll just go in a different direction, like, have a different villain or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Such a thing's even possible. Yeah, I mean, you couldn't recast this role. I mean, to be quite honest, how you'd have to have some sort of shenanigans to even justify it. It just wouldn't be worth it. Do it. If you're making a Sonic 3, and let's be honest, I'm sure they'll make a Sonic 3, pull it in a different direction. Do something different. Maybe there's a different villain that they could use. Maybe there's a villain that they set up in this movie that they could use. I don't know. We'll talk about that when we talk about Sonic the Hedgehog 2. But yeah, like I said, if this is Jim Carrey's last performance, he was having the time of his life. So good for the man. Enjoy some retirement. He's earned it, I think. So... I have a small fun fact to offer as well.
Do you
really? Yes, I do. Most of the voice cast in Sonic 2, it's Ben Schwartz playing Sonic. They brought in Idris Elba to play Knuckles in this sequel. They've been kind of taking the characters, obviously, from the video game franchise and then giving them the new voices and kind of infusing them with some new personalities. But there is one exception. That is the character of Tails, Miles Tails per Hour, who is voiced in the movie by Colleen O'Shaughnessy, and she has actually been voicing him since 2014 across the video games, across cartoons. So it's kind of an interesting carryover where basically they just decided not to reinvent the character or give Tails a new voice or anything like that. And I thought it was nice that they respected her work in the video games and decided let's just keep her on as Tails. Like, that's exciting. And I wonder if part of it was Tails makes like a split second appearance in like, I think the mid credit sequence of the first one or whatever. And I think that she just did the voice then there, and they're just like, whatever, maybe we'll just keep her. But yeah, it was
she's honestly
kind of a nice thing.
A good voice actor for the character. I mean, she's
definitely. There's a reason she's been doing it for almost a decade. So anyway, I thought that was nice, because to be quite honest, some of like Sonic particularly is a bit overbearing and a bit annoying and a bit too much of Ben Schwartz and about, whereas I feel like Tails felt to me like the actual video game character kind of just thrown into a movie, which was very enjoyable. And then these are all things, obviously, again, we'll touch on when we talk about the movie. But anyway, I thought I'd throw that out there. It's just a little brief fun fact. So we've got two fun facts, although maybe yours is arguably not overly fun.
Yeah, it might sound very fun.
But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? So we have, it's a regular episode. We've got some news to talk about. We've got sad things to talk about. We've got cool things to talk about, some trailers to talk about, anything and everything under the sun, basically. So we'll start with the sad. Gilbert Gottfried has died at age 67.
Way too young.
He was battling a long illness which had not been publicly disclosed. It's basically a form of muscular dystrophy, which I'm sure seemed very not that obviously. Not that any sort of long illness is going to be particularly pleasant, but that doesn't sound like it's very pleasant in any way. So yeah, I mean, you see the man's face or you read the name, all you can do is just hear the voice, right? And I wouldn't be able to do an imitation of the voice, but you think of the fucking Affleck duck, for just yapping about for a bit,
I think of the fucking bird from Aladdin.
Iago, yeah. So I feel like those to me are probably the two like quintessential like Gilbert Gottfried roles, in terms of TV, film, and stuff like that. But obviously, he was a comedian, stand-up comedian who did a lot of stand-up tours, appearances on television shows and stuff like that. So it's sad. I mean, it feels like there's been a slew of comedians who have passed away recently, basically Norm Macdonald a little while back, Bob Saget more recently, Louis Anderson we talked about as well, now Gilbert Gottfried. It just feels like kind of a lot of these comedians of similar eras have died in a pretty short span of time. So he was an edgy comedian. I think he got fired from Affleck for making some insensitive tweets about a tsunami that hit Japan. So, maybe not the perfect comedian for someone like me. Certainly not one to shy away from stirring up controversy and being a bit of an asshole about things that, people might not find particularly funny. But what are you going to do? It's kind of the comedian's gig, is to just push things as much as you can and see what happens. So, Iago, Affleck duck, whatever you know that voice from, that was Gilbert Gottfried. So I'll say rest in peace. And we can move on to some other sort of sad news, I think, if you want.
Yes, I mean, if we must.
All right.
More sad news.
We must. We have to get it out of the way, because if we intersperse it throughout, we're going to bring the mood down too much. You start with the mood up, some fun facts, bring it down, then you bring it back up. The energy level spikes, and you're good.
Okay. I see what you're doing.
So Bruce Willis has been making some really terrible films for probably the better part of the last decade, and everyone's kind of just been like, all right, does this dude need fucking money? What the fuck's this guy doing? Turns out, I think there's a little bit more of a sadder twist to the story. So his family revealed pretty recently, last month, into March, that he's been suffering from aphasia, which is basically a medical condition that affects his cognitive abilities, his ability to speak. Eventually it'll basically tackle his ability to speak and communicate, which means that he's an actor who's not going to be able to use the tools that he uses to act.
So he still can listen. He can listen and understand.
Yeah, I think it's more just impacting his ability to
talk.
To talk. Yeah, quite literally to be able to
Man.
Use a very essential skill as an actor. I mean, obviously there are performances that people can pull off without speaking, but those are very few and fleeting, and you're not going to have a career built on that.
Right.
So it seems like, and I had actually read something along these lines a couple of months ago online and didn't really give it much, thought, but basically there's this idea that basically the reason he's been doing a bunch of this schlocky bullshit, direct to DVD, direct to whatever fucking movies, with basically like Steven Seagal-esque kind of movies. The reason he's been doing all of that is because they're an easy paycheck that don't require a lot of work on his part, and it means that he can basically amass a fortune before he has to really, step away from acting. And that's where he is now. He's basically stepped away from acting. So it's a kind of, the shitty thing all around, and it kind of felt like, all right, why is this guy like fucking ruining his own legacy? Like Bruce Willis was a great actor at one point in his life, and then like, why is he just doing all this dumb bullshit that
right.
no one's gonna watch? It was kind of a weird sort of like, why do you go down this route? I mean, obviously money's great. We love money, and I'm sure he loves money. And we may talk about this eventually if we talk about the upcoming Nick Cage movie, where it's
right.
Nick
Right.
Cage
I was. My mind.
But it's
was
kind of the same sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
And the reason for that, Nick Cage said, is basically, I had a shit ton of dets. I had to take every role basically because I needed to pay off my debts. And
I worked my ass off.
Now that I paid off my debts,
years.
I can kind of take roles more selectively, and like I'm uncomfortable doing like weird shit because it's more for me at this point than it is being like, I'll take a fucking few $1,000,000. Like, hell yeah, I gotta saddle up some debts. I can't have that on my back anymore. So it's not exactly a similar scenario here, obviously, but it's shitty. It sucks. Bruce Willis is still a great actor. I'm sure is capable. I think he's probably could have taken projects more infrequently that would have been able to show off his acting chops. But hey, I'm not going to be mad at someone for doing what they feel is right for them. And obviously, it's a really unfortunate, tragic situation that he now finds himself in.
Well, it sucks, man.
Yeah, and it reminds me of I can't remember what the latest on this is, but I think it's Tom Kane who did like the intro to all the Clone Wars episodes. Like, he lost his ability to speak, I think, from a stroke or something like that.
Yeah,
it's just like, man, like right. That's like a fucking gut punch, man.
We covered that sort of thing. We covered that in the podcast, I think, when that happened.
I think so. So I mean, it kind of reminds me of that, where it's just like that's like the cruelest, twist of fate, basically, to take away that thing, that you're known for. Like that, I can't imagine how hard that is for him, for his family. So I don't think we've spent a lot of time making fun of Bruce Willis for his shitty projects over the past decade. I'm sure, I'm sure it's come up here and there, but hey, like I said, do what you got to do.
Oh yeah, I know that I haven't really seen any of them. You know what I mean?
Of course. Like
I've seen the
probably
posters.
Look at it and be like, wow, that looks like dog shit. I don't think I'm going to watch that. I mean, it's pretty much as simple as that. And like, fine, I'm not. It's not hurting. It's not hurting me. It's not hurting anyone. It's just kind of why are we here? And I guess we have our answer now. So anyway, so that's what's going on. It's
end of many eras, dude.
Yeah.
Getting old. We're getting older.
So moving on. I think I really, really debated whether I wanted to tackle this topic again. I really, really debated. But something about having 7 pieces of news instead of 8, I just felt like, all right, let me just throw in a quick word here. I don't know why my brain works this way. So Will Smith. What's
the conclusion?
Fresh off the slappening, he resigned from the Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Sciences, basically saying, all right, I'm going to, I think it was kind of a preemptive move. He knew he was.
Is it one of those situations you think where you're fired? No, I quit. Is it one of those?
I think it's close to that, but they didn't quite actually have the conversation of you're fired yet. I think there was just the slapping incident was under investigation, and I think before the investigation was concluded, it was just like, I'm out, no big deal, I'm out. The Academy has now also issued a 10-year ban. Basically for Will Smith to from attending any future Academy events, including the Oscars. So for the next 10 years, he won't be allowed to make an appearance at the Oscars. I assume he'll still be eligible for awards You know what I mean? So may get into a tricky scenario. But like traditionally,
but he did quit. He quit the academy, didn't he?
I don't think you have to be a member of the academy to be nominated.
Win awards.
I think you have to be a member of the academy to decide who gets nominated. You know what I mean? To vote for people. But I think you can technically be eligible without being part of the academy itself. So he could potentially get nominated and be in an awkward scenario where he's nominated but he's not allowed to attend. Blah blah blah.
Hey, it's me, Will. I'm at home.
yeah, pretty much. But like next year, traditionally, the best actor winner of the previous year will like go up and present the best actress. At the next Oscars telecast. That probably will not happen here because he's not going to be allowed back. It's overkill. It's an overreaction. Like I said, I debated even putting it in here because I'm pretty done with this. I think we had a pretty exhaustive conversation about this already. And I think we effectively said everything that needed to be said about it. But this is the latest on it. I think it's the close of the chapter, for this sort of thing. They're closing the book on it, and that's going to be that. It's whatever. If the Academy thinks that this is necessary, like fine, whatever. It is kind of ridiculous that like this is the thing. This is the thing where they're really up in arms versus the Harvey Weinstein and Roman Polanski stuff, where they're just like, those guys are fine. Have they done anything wrong in their lives? So whatever. But to be fair, I don't think those two are part of the Academy anymore either. So it's some similar things have happening, but it's just all kind of overblown and played out.
It's funny. Point. I not to get off on a tangent. I watched last night. I watched fucking Gravis. What's his name? English. He's an English comedian. And he did the Golden Globes. Like,
okay,
you know what I'm talking about?
I don't, but I'll entertain.
He roasted everybody like 2 years ago. Like it was just relentless.
Oh,
like,
Gervais, Ricky Gervais.
Gervais, yes. Yeah. You watch what's his name? God damn it. Tom Hanks's face during the entire ceremony was just fucking hysterical. That was a really funny thing. He roasted some people pretty hard. Anyways, I don't know. I guess if you have a 10-year, if the consequence of approaching the stage and assaulting somebody is 10 years, you'll probably have you'll think twice before you hop up on stage and
don't do
slap somebody in the face. Yeah.
There will be some consequences that will come as a result of that. But
there needs to be, but
fair, right, whatever. If this is what they deem appropriate, so be it. I'm not going to care that much, but still got his Oscar, so good on him. Whatever.
That's the end of the thing.
He's apologized. I think everyone's kind of mutually ready to move on, myself included.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So that's that. That's what's going on there. All right, now let's move on to some news. Just a couple quick pieces of news here, both interesting, potentially exciting as well. True Detective's coming back again.
Oh God.
Season 4 is in development over at HBO, and I think that this may be the most promising part of this, with a new creator, with new writer, basically. So Nick Pizzaman is out. Nick Pizzolatto, who worked on all 3 seasons of it, delivered excellent work on season 1, and then I guess was pressed for time and shat out season 2. And I didn't watch season 3. I'm sure it was.
I didn't even know there was a
2.
season 3.
It was the one with Mahershala.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I didn't watch that. I'm sure it was better than season 2, but I just never really found myself compelled to go back. But season 4, it's going to be apparently called True Detective Night Country. It's going to have Barry Jenkins attached to executive produce it, which is exciting. Barry Jenkins is a very talented filmmaker who's worked on the likes of Moonlight, which I don't know if you saw, but that was the best picture winner that was initially given to La La Land, if you recall that particular saga at the Oscars as well. Another fun thing that happened at the Oscars a few years ago. And then he did If Beale Street Could Talk, which was a fantastic film, one of my favorite of that year. And I think most recently he did The Underground Railroad, which is a TV show on Amazon. I don't know if you've seen anything about that, but
so he has an knack for racially charged films.
Yeah. Yep.
And we might get some True Detective and some.
Yeah, you might. True Detective with like racial dynamics, more heavily focused upon. That could be interesting.
Season 3, Mahershala Ali played somebody through three versions of his life.
It was three generations, but three different timelines,
stages
basically.
In life.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, and that was like in like Southern Alabama or something, wasn't it?
It might have been. So it may have even, it may have even hit on a lot of these things as well. Then watch.
But if it did not, that would be a cool. This would be a cool
definitely
direction.
A cool direction.
To go in. And
they're also the person that is writing the scripts for this is Issa Lopez. So it's she's a Mexican woman. So you have a female perspective writing these scripts for this. I'm not familiar with any of her work. I think it looks like she's been working for basically decades, stemming back to basically 90s, early 2000s in the Mexican film industry, from what I can tell. So, that's kind of an interesting hire. She may direct the pilot, is what it's also being apparently, reported. And of course, we have no idea who would actually star in this. And I think that's obviously going to be a big influence on how interested we get. Do they just get Nicolas Cage in there? I'm still down for
detective.
It. I feel like we talked about like
what have you done? What have you done?
This was probably years ago at this point. Like, who do you cast in a True Detective new season that you are immediately like, I'm in. I'm interested as fuck. Nick Cage is one of he's an actor for me that I think that put him in a True Detective setting, he would thrive. He would take it very maybe too seriously,
the next level.
But he would take it to the next level. That's for sure. He would be great.
If he has a partner, is he bad cop or good cop?
Nick Cage is bad cop. He's doing cocaine all the time, kind of cop. Breaking the law all the time.
Oh shit! That's good.
So maybe this is a show that also deals with racial dynamics as far as policing is involved too, which is obviously a very
little brutality action.
It's a very big subject, obviously, in the modern discourse, and I think there's a way to tackle that in a TV medium in an interesting way. So we'll see what happens. We're obviously speculating a lot about what this could be, maybe will be. I don't know, but we'll stay tuned. Season 4 is apparently happening, and I'm looking forward to getting some more information on it. So I guess stay tuned, and we'll figure out what's happening. Now, moving on into the Marvel universe. Very, very exciting news, especially if Enrique Jaime is listening right now. He's probably already heard about this. He's probably read about it on the internet. But I'm sure he's extremely excited to find out that Marvel Studios is developing a Nova project. Unclear if it's going to be a film or Disney Plus series at this point in time, but it's fucking Nova. This was a Deadline exclusive, and they're reporting that Richard Rider is the Nova that's going to be part of this, who is the best Nova. He's the original Nova. He's the more adult one. They later did like a younger Nova named Sam Alexander, who was like a kid who like got the Nova powers, and I don't want that. I don't want fucking Richard Rider.
So Nova is from Nova Prime, is that right? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I think that's...
And he has like AI, like the AI computer is like in him.
He's got like the Nova world mind. So he basically has like this artificial, I don't know if it's necessarily intelligence, but like basically like this database information that's like basically plugged into his head that he can like access. Is kind of like, that's kind of my experience with him, which is mostly again like probably from reading like the Annihilation run of comics. Mm-hmm. But I think that's kind of his general deal.
So he's got all this like conventional superhero powers.
He can fly around, punch shit. He can, I think think he can use like energy and shit like that. He's got like these kind of cosmic type powers,
cosmic
in the same way
superhero
like a Captain Marvel does,
with supercomputer intelligence.
Yeah, and basically he's part of the Nova Corps, who are the space cops that we saw in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies with John C. Reilly. John C. Reilly was part of... Yeah, exactly. Also, yeah, Peter Serafinowicz. Same thing. Those guys were the Nova Corps. Basically, his origin story is, I believe, that the Nova Corps get completely destroyed, and then the World Mind like gets put into him, and like he's like kind of like the last Nova Corps standing. Maybe it rebuilds at a certain point after that. But yeah, it's pretty intense stuff.
Pretty epic, yeah.
And I think that, I mean, basically it's off screen, but in Infinity War it's stated that Thanos basically destroys Xandar to get the Power Stone. So maybe that's the way you backdoor an origin story for Nova, and you work from there, and then he's caught up in the timeline or whatever. I don't know. We'll see what they do with it. But Nova's he's just a fucking cool character. He's got a cool design. He's got cool powers.
He does have a cool
He's
design.
got a cool personality. Like he's just a fucking badass character who has been worthy of being included in the movies for a long time, or TV shows, however they approach it. And I think at one point, like, James Gunn tinkered with bringing him in with the Guardians movies, and then just never quite did it. But it's happening now. It's happening. So the status on this is very early on. Obviously, it's just that the project is in development, and they've brought in a writer. So Sabir Pirzada is who's going to write this project, and he is one of the writers on Moon Knight, which is currently airing on Disney Plus. So if you like the writing in that, then maybe this is promising news on that front as well. So yeah. It's very cool. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'll just say it right now. This is again something that I've probably already said on air, however many years ago. But give me Timothy Olyphant as Richard Rider. That's what I want. That's all I want.
Timothy Olyphant as Nova?
I just want him to basically play the same character he always plays, which is just Raylan Givens from Justified.
Cowboy.
And he's also and Cub Vanth and the Mandalorian and Boba Fett. Just let him do the same thing.
He just plays a badass cop, is what you're telling me?
Yeah, just let him play a badass cop. Give him a fucking badass suit, and CG him flying around and shooting energy balls and shit, and saying.
Nova does have a cool, a really cool fucking suit.
Yeah, he does. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that's a big part of the appeal. He just looks fucking cool. I mean, half the reason that we like comic book characters is they look fucking cool. You know what I mean? Like, if Batman looked ridiculous, then we probably wouldn't like Batman as much. You know what I mean? Like, so it certainly plays a factor. But anyway, we'll see what happens with Nova. Obviously, like I said, early in development, so lots of news that we'll have to look forward to as the project comes to fruition. But let's move on and talk about 3 trailers. Oh, are you not ready? You have some more thoughts?
Nah, I think I was just gonna say I think the big toe would make a good Nova.
John Cena.
John Cena Nova would be fucking cool.
Whoever they cast, they know what they're doing.
You can move on. I looked at a picture and it had it's from a comic book and he's saying something quippy.
Okay. And you saw John Cena delivering the line?
Saw it. Exactly.
You saw it, you envisioned it.
I did.
Hey.
Anyways.
We'll see. Maybe he'll universe hop from DC over to Marvel. We'll see. We'll see. All right. So 3 trailers, 3 kind of very different trailers. Let's start with an A24 trailer. We got a teaser for this a little while back. It's writer and director Alex Garland's next film. It's called Men. I think we got a bit more of what's going on, but still equally as weird and A24-y as the teaser that we got. I am gonna guess that you're excited for this. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I am excited about it. Yes. Alex Garland. Period. That's all I need to really read.
I didn't need to watch the trailer. You were good.
It does look beautifully shot. I don't know who the cinematographer is with this, but it looks very artistically done. Editing looks top notch. I mean, it looks like quintessential A24 stuff.
It does. Yeah, and it feels. I would actually say it feels to me even more A24-y than Alex Garland-y based on his recent stuff.
Right.
But it's still an interesting combination of the two. I'm sure
he fits the niche.
Yeah, I think his sensibilities are going to shine through, but it's still going to it's going to let him be weirder than like maybe even some of the stuff. I mean, he's done some weird stuff, obviously, with Ex Machina and Annihilation and Devs, but this still feels more A24 level of weird.
That's
whereas
right.
those didn't really have that same sort of feel. So,
and it looks like it's got some like religious undertones with like the like almost like the Bible's demonization of women in a way, and just I don't know, and like people holding her responsible for somebody's death, and just this constant like bashing this poor woman over the head about everything she's doing. Like she eats an apple and was like, "Hey, that's the forbidden fruit. You shouldn't eat that." Yeah, everybody's super creepy.
It's an interesting use of a single actor to play very different characters throughout. Like I feel like that's very interesting. I'm curious to see how that plays out. And Rory Kinnear looks like he's fucking great and creepy and weird as shit.
He's totally leaning into it.
Yeah, no, he seems like he's having a blast with it. But no, I'm excited for it. The cinematographer is Rob Hardy, who is a frequent collaborator of Alex Garland's. He's worked with him on Ex Machina, Annihilation, and Devs. He's also worked on Mission Impossible Fallout, is another noteworthy one that he's worked on. So he knows what he's doing. So does Alex Garland. It's got kind of some horror, I would say. I was going to say undertones, but I guess they're more overtones, really.
Overtones, yeah.
I think it's just kind of a horror film overall, but it's very exciting, and we're looking forward to it in theaters May 20th. So we got a little over a month to wait, but I think that Andrew and I we can manage a theater trip for this. I think we can.
Yeah, absolutely.
We can do that for our boy Alex Garland. We'll do him solid. So yeah, any other thoughts on Men?
No, that's it. Looks nutty. I'm about it.
That it does. All right, so let's move on to the official teaser trailer for an upcoming Netflix animated film called The Sea Beast, which Carl Urban, Jared Harris, Dan Stevens, among those in the voice cast. Same director as Moana and Big Hero 6 from Disney. So, what do you think about this? July 8th, coming to Netflix, by the way. But what do you think about The Sea Beast?
It looks okay. It looks okay.
The trailer didn't do anything for me in like a weird sort. Like it felt like it was designed to be emotional and like, oh, fuck yeah. And like my takeaway was this looks beautifully animated.
It does look beautiful.
And I'm excited to watch it for that standpoint. The sea technology, the water technology is probably going to be groundbreaking. And I think that it seems like it has the capacity to be like a really good animated film, but for whatever reason, the trailer just didn't, it felt like it was trying to do like this really, really, big swell of music and everything. And like, I didn't really feel a connection to the material in a way that I think it like was trying to inspire me to. So I'm hoping that does not carry over to the film itself. I just like the characters themselves didn't seem particularly anything to me, but it's a sub 2-minute trailer of what I'm sure is going to be an hour and a half film at the very least. So it kind of feels like the setting and the story is all interesting. Pair it with some beautiful animation, and you hope that that's the actual final product itself is going to be better than this. It's going to be good, hopefully. So I'm curious to watch it. I feel like has Netflix had like an animated film like this? You know what I mean? Kind of feels like different, vibe for them, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, I mean they've had two good ones, that I know of. Okay. Yeah, I mean they had the Mitchells and
the Mitchells. Yeah, I guess that's true. I guess
I enjoyed Claws as well.
Yeah, that's a good one. I haven't watched that. Mitchells. I guess it was. I think it was a. Like an acquisition type one, right? It's where I think Sony or whoever was just like, whatever. And then obviously that was probably a short-sighted maneuver overall. But I don't know. I think this one is like, I assume this is like kind of developed from the ground up. I don't know for a fact, over at Netflix. I mean, like I don't think this is something that they just bought off of another studio.
Off some people.
You're right. But maybe I could be incorrect. But anyway, I'm willing to give it a chance. Maybe another trailer gives it a little bit more, oomph or something to it. But July 8th, we'll get the Sea Beast. So that's what we got. How about the last trailer, though? I think you're excited for this one. I think you've been excited for this next one for the 5 years that the trailers have been out for it.
Yeah.
Top Gun Maverick. Finally coming to theaters May 27th, as they put into the YouTube description with "finally" in all caps, because it's your own fucking fault, Paramount. You're the one that keeps delaying this shit for no apparent fucking reason. I mean, there was definitely some apparent fucking reasons for a long time of why they delayed it, but it feels like they just bounced it around like 2 or 3 more times just for the hell of it. But anyway,
if they would have put it instead, like if they would have put it like with Spider-Man, they could have set fucking records, dude. Like nothing will put people in their seat like Top Gun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, we got excited about Spider-Man, but if you put Top Gun in there after a pandemic, holy shit.
Well, I guess that's what they're doing. Come May, we'll finally get it after years and years of waiting. But yeah, we got some new footage. What'd you think?
Incredible. I want to know.
I'm sure you were just as hyped as you were before, if not more so. But.
Well, it's interesting because they got off of the advertising train for a good long while, right? Like
That's
I
true.
haven't,
yeah.
Like with Black Widow. It was
like nonstop.
I saw the trailer for like 3 years.
It was always there. Yeah.
This I feel like I haven't seen a trailer for a good while. I mean, I watched it in front of Sonic, but before that, I hadn't seen a trailer in a long time.
Right, you probably saw this particular trailer in front of Sonic.
I did actually.
Yes. Yeah.
And it was new. It was fresh. So get some new footage. And man, you know, I could probably just take like if the movie was nothing, like if it was a documentary. With cameras on fucking jet planes, I'd probably be okay with it. Like, just give me voiceover and jet plane camera footage, and I think it'd be okay. Because the way this movie's shot, I don't know if it does not look like special effects. It looks like
No, I think it's legit.
They bolted cameras on the fucking wings, and just told it to haul ass, just go. And man, God, it looks incredible.
Yeah, I you know, and it like it feels real. I think because it is. And honestly, it's probably fucking Tom Cruise flying the shit out of all of them, and you know he's probably splitting the fucking planes, and he's just like Tom Cruise. Like they're like, hey man, like but if you make like one wrong maneuver, like you're gonna kill the other people and yourself. He's like, I'm Tom Cruise.
Unlimited power,
mistakes like that.
You know?
Unlimited power. That's right. You know. This is definitely one where the behind the scenes of it, I think, would be extremely interesting to watch because you'd probably get kind of closer to that documentary aspect. Like, how the fuck do they put all this together and figure out how to do all this?
It looks so well shot.
There was an article that came out, and this is something that arguably, I guess, could be a fun fact that I could save for over a month from now, but I'll probably forget about it. So I should just say it now on the record. And if I repeat it later, no one's going to remember that either. They basically filmed so much footage for this film. Like the way that they compared it is that there was more footage filmed for Top Gun Maverick than the entire combined footage for the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
No way.
Footage they shot. And I think a lot of that, and just reading up on it, and it sounds like this is kind of what they did with the first one as well, is they just filmed the fucking planes doing everything. And then they look at what they have and figure out, like, all right, how do we put this together? You know what I mean? They just let the fucking cameras roll and then just go and figure it out later, because it's just like there's no real way to choreograph it and you know in a super super technical fashion. So you just shoot everything and anything and everything under the sun, and then that kind of informs how you make the movie, which sounds like a lot of painstaking effort that would have to go into making it a watchable final product. Although if you're like Andrew, then you're just like, yeah, show me that fucking footage. I'll sit here for hours watching that shit fly around. Put it in an IMAX screen, man. Put it in a D box, and it'll be like I'm flying the planes, man.
Yeah, give me some good bass, you know?
Yeah.
It looks incredible. Tom Cruise looks charming. You get the drummer boy from
Yep.
Miles
Whiplash.
Teller.
Yep. Miles Teller's in it. He's playing Goose's son.
Yeah, which is cool.
Call sign Rooster.
Is his name Rooster?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's rocking a mustache. It looks great. I'm 110% about it. It looks
very
incredible.
Yeah. It's very exciting to finally have it like on our doorstep. Tom Cruise is going to crush it. He's a crazy asshole. We all know it, but the man is committed to film, and perhaps like no other. You know what I mean? So I'm excited to see what everyone.
There's nobody doing the
this.
things Tom Cruise does.
No, not really. So, class of his own. I hope Top Gun Maverick is also in a class of its own as a film. I'm excited to. I mean, because if nothing else, this is an excuse to watch Top Gun again. So I'm going to be doing that before long, and then we'll be watching Maverick, and then talking about it. It's at least going to be a Dolby trip for me, but I got to contemplate an IMAX one for this one, to be honest. It just. Especially if they have like expanded aspect ratio, and I don't know if they do. They may or may not, but I don't know.
It has to be
biggest
if it is an
and
IMAX,
loudest format. I think
biggest and loudest. Like the nice thing about the Dolby is it seems like there's such a there's such a consistency with the experience. It seems like Dolby's much more particular about what they put the certification on versus IMAX. It seems like anybody can get an IMAX certification, so you just have to be particular about the theater. And
like Dolby. Especially something like this, you'll feel it in your seats when it's fucking loud. You know what I mean? In a way that like IMAX obviously is very loud, but Dolby has like more like the rumbling, almost D-Box-esque without literally just being a rumbling seat kind of quality to it. So Top Gun Maverick, May 27th. Obviously, we're very much looking forward to it. But now we must turn our attention to Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Exclusively playing in theaters, although it will be on Paramount Plus in 45 days after its theatrical debut. So by my calculations, May 23rd, you can expect to watch Sonic the Hedgehog 2 at home, or you can watch it again. If you're Andrew and myself, we could watch it again at home. It was written by Pat Casey, Josh Miller, and John Whittington, directed by Jeff Fowler, coming back from the first one. Stars James Marsden, Ben Schwartz, Tika Sumpter, Natasha Rothwell, Adam Pally, Shamar Moore, Colleen O'Shaughnessy, Liam Doob, Idris Elba, and the one, the only, Jim Carrey. When the maniac Dr. Robotnik, Dr. Motherfucking Eggman, returns to Earth with a new ally, Knuckles the Echidna, Sonic and his new friend Tails are all that stand in their way. So, you want to do a quick box office breakdown of Sonic the Hedgehog 2 and some other films, maybe?
Box office breakdown.
So, do we want to just do you want to shit on Morbius for a couple of minutes first, or do you want to just go for Sonic and then okay, all right.
Do the memes live up to the reality of the box office performance of Morbius?
I'm not sure what the memes are, but probably. I'll just say flatly, probably yes. And I think probably the last we talked about Morbius was at the end of our Studio 666 episode. We basically said, we're not going to cover it because, you know what, fuck it. We're too old for this shit. We're not going to do that to ourselves, etc. So we didn't watch it. None of us have seen it. We're not going to see it in theaters, at least, probably ever. And we're not going to cover it. But we can certainly make fun of it. Nonetheless, obviously it's been piled on with the critical reviews and all that. But it actually debuted with an okay opening weekend number of $39 million on April, the weekend of April 1st. People realized it wasn't a joke. In fact, there was actually a Morbius movie in theaters that they could go watch. So a handful of people did. And then weekend 2, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 arrived, and Morbius dropped 74% in its second weekend, which I would think should stand out as a pretty large number. But to put it into perspective, it's basically the biggest ever box office drop for any comic book superhero movie. I think Shaft is the only thing that dropped bigger in its second weekend.
So it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. Worse than the likes of X-Men Origins Wolverine, Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice, Dark Phoenix. So real bad drop for it. And obviously a lot of that is because Sonic was successful, and I'll get to that shortly. But, for something that I think had an okay opening, which, was more than... more than it arguably deserved. This feels a little bit more like course correction of just being like, oh yeah, this movie fucking sucks and no one cares about it. And why did Sony make this in the first place? So maybe it has some sort of domino effect of making them like reconsider, like, oh, are we just going to make Craven movies and make Madam Web and make Silver Sable and Aunt May movies and whatever the fuck else they have up their sleeves? I don't know.
I saw some news. Maybe it belongs in the news. I don't know. Maybe because it's fake news. I don't know. But I read something that said the new WB executives are trashing the current DC cinematic universe.
So it's not fake news exactly. It's just not entirely accurate as you've presented it.
Okay.
Basically, there is talks that they're going to have an overhaul of DC entertainment, but there's nothing concrete, to the point where they're like, all right, we're throwing everything in the bin or anything like that. It's just, are we gonna retool this once again?
The only person that can direct DC stuff is Zack Snyder. That's the direction we want to go.
Yeah, they're bringing him back. The fans have spoken, and we're going to bring him back. He was, twice awarded at the Oscars. So why would we not? The message has been received loud and clear. Bring him back. He's the man to bring us into the future. But yeah, I think that it's a possibility that DC sees another shuffling of things in the future, but remains to be seen exactly what that entails. But yeah, I mean, Morbius wasn't made for a lot of money. I think it had a $75 million budget, which is pretty respectable for this kind of film. And obviously, I think it showed in terms of like the quality of what the film looked like. Can't say what the quality of film actually is, again, because we haven't watched it. But I think we can surmise based on everything that it's perhaps not one of the finer comic book films that's ever been put to screen. But it's about 126 million worldwide. I mean, I think there's a legitimate question of the way that it's dropping. Does it actually turn a profit or not? After when you factor in the budget plus marketing and other costs, associated with it. I mean, I don't think this thing's making Spider-Man type merchandising money. Like, who the fuck's buying a Morbius action figure for their kid? I mean, I guess someone probably is, but I can't imagine it's the same people that are, as many people that are buying Spider-Man.
That kid's probably going to be fucked up. I will say that.
Yeah.
I want a Morbius toy.
They're gonna get a tattoo on their forehead that says "damaged," probably. But anyway, that's what's going on with Morbius. So, dropping real bad at the box office, and a lot of that can be attributed to Sonic just doing really well, and obviously putting more butts in seats, taking away butts from potential Morbius theaters. Sonic ended up with a $72 million opening weekend, which was, I think, a good amount more than what the first one opened to. And so I think that Paramount has to be pretty pleased with what it did. First one opened to $58 million. Now, obviously, that was right before the world came to a standstill, February of 2020. It was one of the, I think was it the last movie you saw in theaters?
Before
the black hole of time and space that 2020 was. I think I saw Bloodshot after it, so I had a real nice 1-2 punch of Sonic and Bloodshot. But it's doing really well, I think.
And you didn't care for the first Sonic, right?
I did not care for the first Sonic. That's probably worth repeating. I know we did an episode on it, so maybe check that out too if you're interested in hearing our thoughts on that in 2020 in the before times.
So you left on a dour note, Sonic and then Bloodshot. So it just went up here and then dropped after Bloodshot, and then it's like,
yeah. And there were aspects of the first Sonic that I enjoyed. There were no aspects of Bloodshot that I enjoyed.
Right.
So I'll say that for those two particular films. Sonic, the first one, was definitely better than Bloodshot. But yeah, it was a bit of a dour note to end my theater treks on. But yeah, I mean, $72 million opening ain't nothing to scoff at. It's quite good, in fact. I went and saw it, and it was very full, and the audience was very reactive. You had a different experience, I'm told. So maybe we should get into that if you're up for it.
All right. So I tried to see it in Dolby. The Dolby Cinema is in Brandon. And it was at 6:30. And I said, there's just no way I'm going to be able to make it over there by 6:30. So I'm going to go to the Movie Co. Or it's not Movie Co. anymore. It's Starlight 20. I'm going to go to the Starlight 20 and at 7. So that's what I did. Good thing I did so because I worked until 6:20. And then it's about 30 minutes away. So I made it like right in time. So I'm booking it up from the parking lot, and I casually pass a lady walking her dog in the parking lot of the movie theater. And I thought, this person's probably not catching a movie, because it's weird. You don't see somebody walking their dog in the middle of the fucking parking lot of the movie theater. But I thought to myself, she's got to be picking somebody up or something, just in passing. I get in and I go to get beer at the beer line, and I get my 2 brews, and I walk into Sonic, and I make it just in time at 7:00. And I'm shit, there's nobody here. And I text you and I say, man, how did this movie do in the box office? Because there's when did this movie come out? Because there is absolutely not a ass in any seats. I'm the only one. And I feel like it just came out. And he's like, yeah, come out last week or whatever. So, anyways, 7:03 comes around, and who the fuck walks in this movie theater? It's me by myself. And the only other fucking person that walks in this movie theater at the time is the girl with the goddamn little Chihuahua dog. Yeah. And she just walks the dog right up.
And then he said a Chihuahua, and I was like, oh no, that's not right. Although they could be, they're mean little fuckers. That's,
Yeah, and I look over her and instantly, I get pissed. I'm just instantly angry. Usually I don't have these sort of feelings. I don't instantly get mad about generally anything, but instantly, what the fuck are you doing? Why did you bring your fucking dog?
One look, oh fuck no, oh no.
The only other person that I'm going to be sharing this theater with has a fucking dog. What? Why is there a dog in the movie theater? I was so mad.
Should have brought Theo.
Apparently
it's fine.
And how many movie theater employees does she walk by? Nobody thinks to say, hey, listen, is that a service animal? Let me verify this is a service animal. I understand, if you need the dog to get to the movies or whatever, okay, I get it. At the same time, the movie theater is not a good place to bring your animal, service dog or not. It's fucking loud and disorienting, and there's a lot of people, and there's food all over. It's just not a good place for an animal. What are you doing? Anyways, so, fuck, I'm getting upset thinking about it. Not 2 minutes later, she walks in, she's sitting down, and I'm at the front row where the bar is, right? It's if I can sit there in a normal movie theater, it kind of gives me the kind of IMAX experience, right? And if I'm by myself, that's where I like to sit. Nobody's in front of me. I got the bar. It's good. And so I'm right in the middle with the bar in front of me, and she's however many rows behind me. And her fucking friends are the second people to come in here in the movie theater. And these people aren't old. They're probably 20, maybe, they're old enough to where they brought their own dog to the movie theater, or she brought her own dog. Her parents obviously didn't say, no, honey, the movie theater's not the place for her to bring a dog. She's obviously brought her own dog, so she's probably living on her own. But they're younger, and her friends walk in, and, there's no trailers going, but it's not a wave. It's, hey! And they fucking scream. And I just bury my hand. I take a sip of my beer is what I do. I just grab my beer cup and just take a sip. And then I take a breath. Fuck's sakes. And they're over there. They're in the back. They're behind me. And they're talking about where they got the dog from and, this and that. And I can hear the entire conversation. I'm texting you throughout the entire thing. And then people start to come in, right? And then the trailers start to play. In every fucking trailer, I can hear them talking. Like they're talking so loud. And nobody else seems to pay any mind. I thought it was funny. Like the fourth trailer in the reel was Top Gun, and that was the only one that they weren't making super loud comments about. It's like, fuck yeah. They're obviously not about Top Gun.
Top Gun, they're about the fuck up.
Yeah, exactly. They're they were talking about all the anime. Oh my god, it's so cute. Blah blah blah. It's just so fucking annoying. It was terrible. But they had no words about Top Gun. And I laughed to myself. I laughed to myself about that. I took another sip of my beer. And to believe it or not, I feel bad for being so angry. They did have a couple of claps and stuff in the movie, which is, they're obviously excited about Sonic, and that's fine. But everything was fine until one particular moment, and it just totally ruined it for me. Like it just took me completely out of it, and I was upset again. But the dog was good throughout the movie.
So it was the friends that were the ultimate enemy. They were the villains.
It was her
or the group of them.
It was her and her. It was the group.
But the dog was innocent.
The dog was innocent. I actually didn't hear the dog. Dog didn't make a peep. Like if I didn't happen to see her walk in with the dog, I would not have known. You wouldn't have known.
Yeah,
it's more of what it's turned. It's more of you're the kind of person that brings your dog into the movie theater, and then through
your judgment is poor. We already know that from the beginning. It does not bode well, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and then it just everything was fine until the end, and then I got super pissed again. So, and then I was actually super pissed that I actually didn't like completely wait for everything. I just fucking got up and I looked at him as I left. Anyways, then that was that. So yeah, unique experience. First time I saw a movie. It was akin to the kid running around during Lego Movie.
Yeah, and that's come up frequently. Where it's just like that's your barometer for like, and like, oh god, do I have to watch a kids movie on like a fucking weekend or something like that? Like, oh god, you have to like saddle up and like just brace yourself for it, because I saw this on a Saturday afternoon, and so I kind of had that thought of just being like of opening weekend, and I'm like,
what's this experience gonna be
man. Like, is this gonna be a fucking nightmare? Mine was pretty good. I think Dolby's loud enough that it
drowns,
overwhelms. Yeah, so even if there were any dogs in my screening barking, I probably wouldn't have been able to hear them anyway. But yeah. All right. Well, I'll be curious to hear about what it was that the moment that you got pulled out, but maybe that's a spoiler moment.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Well, so we'll circle back to that, but let me ask you, obviously that aside, you were able to, it sounds like, enjoy, the movie, under fairly normal circumstances, had a couple beers to help you through it.
Yeah.
So what are your non-spoiler thoughts on Sonic the Hedgehog 2? As a fan of the first one, you enjoyed the first one. So I think that this movie, I totally liked it as an extension of the first movie. I think that I think that the humor, I don't know. I think it's probably like 40-60 as far as landing, like 40 landing, 60 not landing.
Correct. Yeah, like the humor is not always totally great, and that's fine. I think that it's campy enough. Jim Carrey's funny, and his barista.
Au contraire, mon frère.
Yes. I think Idris Elba's great as Knuckles. There's I think it's a charming film for a, because I mean, you really there's some, I guess there's some deeper Sonic content out there, but I mean, Sonic's largely just like fucking move fast, like
gotta go fast.
That's it. So I think I don't know. I enjoyed this movie. I think I enjoyed this one better than I enjoyed the second one. I think it's a move in the right direction. They lean into the sensibilities that I appreciated in the first movie was when it leaned into being a video game movie.
Yeah,
I think that's when it's shown the most. Same thing in this one. When it was a video game movie, there's a couple like Easter egg things in here that they sprinkle in that I think is really funny. When it was a video game movie, first and foremost, I think that's when it was best. And there's more of that in this than there was the second. And there's also things in this movie that, like, wow, they went there. I didn't think they would go there, but they went there, and it was really cool. So yeah, it's I still think it's just a decent video game movie. I mean, it's not a fucking work of art, but
most video game movies are actively bad, right?
Right.
You know, so for something to not be actively bad, to be at least enjoyable and in most of its respects, like that's a successful video game movie. Like the bar is pretty low overall, you know. So if you're in there for, you know, just under a couple hours and you're having a good time, that's usually good enough to come out, you know, the theater and think, okay, whatever, you know. And I don't know what you're drinking, but I would bet a couple beers probably helps, you know, get you into the movie and, you know, and puts you know, annoying assholes and a dog out of your brain for a little bit and lets you kind of sink in. But yeah. All right. Any other non-spoilery thoughts? I mean, obviously it's pretty basic, and it's not a deep, complex movie in any way. It's a kid's movie, first and foremost. I mean, I don't think there's any doubt about that.
Yeah, so, I mean, there's no real. I mean, there's nothing really note with cinematography.
No,
I mean, Sonic looks fine, and
yeah, the designs are good because they fixed the Sonic design the first time around, which means that they could have just they just kept the video game designs for the other characters. So Knuckles looks like Knuckles, Tails looks like Tails. He doesn't look like that fucking cracked out fox thing that, you know, was memed to death at the time of the first one.
So funny.
Eggman's got his fucking ridiculous stash when he was doing his reconnaissance at the end of the first one. And he's got that pretty much the whole time. You know, he's not shaped like an egg. But you know, he's just Jim Carrey with the shaved bald head and a ridiculous mustache. But that's great. That's basically all you need for Robotnik. You know, so
that's all you need. What do you need? You know. Yeah. It's totally cool.
Totally cool. I enjoyed this a lot more than the first one. It's not what I would say a good film. I wouldn't say it's a great film, but it's a perfectly pleasant and enjoyable kids film that I think is fairly rewarding for fans of the Sonic games. And, like, you know, let's be honest, like, I think the Sonic video game franchise is probably more missed than hit overall. You know what I mean? I think especially recently, probably since Sonic Adventure 2, we can count on one hand, if we even need to get that far, you know, the amount of good Sonic games that have come out. Like, most of them have been like Sonic Mania, which is like the 2D one, kind of closer to the old ones. Like, all the 3D Sonic games basically since Adventure 2 have been some varying level of dog shit. You know, just either unplayable like that PS3 360 one, or just like, why is Sonic dating a human woman? Or why is Sonic turning into a wolf? Like, I don't, what like, everyone's clearly lost, you know. And they're doing another one. I don't think it's out yet. It's like basically Sonic of the Wild. It's like a Breath of the Wild kind of thing with Sonic. I'm like, honestly, like, fuck it, man. That could work. You know, Breath of the Wild's an amazing video game. Nothing's going to replicate that experience except for perhaps Breath of the Wild 2. But, like, you can still do an approach to that, like Pokemon did it with Legends, you know, and it's like, it's Pokemon of the Wild, and like, it's pretty fucking good, and it changes the Pokemon formula, and like, that's fun, and it's cool, and it's not as good as Breath of the Wild or Deep or anything like that, but like, fine. So if there's a Sonic game that's at least like good and feels like, even if it's just aping another video game that's much better than it, like, it could still be a worthwhile experience. But my point being, Sonic games are not amazing stuff overall. But there are fun characters in them, and there's some fun lore that they could draw from, and indeed they do, and I think they do it pretty successfully in this one. So Knuckles is a really, really fun addition, a fun villain. Idris Elba crushes it, you know, with this sort of dry, humorless, matter-of-fact kind of approach to the character. Tails is very endearing, like a good companion and friend for Sonic, for him to bounce off of, who is not just another human, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I think for me, what I didn't like about the first one was that it almost felt so afraid to be a video game movie in many ways, until basically the end, when it's fucking Sonic fighting a bunch of robots and shit, and doing the spinny shit and bouncing around. I'm like, this is a fucking Sonic to me. And this one has a lot more of that. It's basically like kind of a sort of globe-trotting adventure with Sonic bouncing around with the help of Tails, fighting Knuckles and fighting Eggman. And that's what I wanted. Like, I think that's what I came out of the first one thinking, like, more of that, less of the other stuff. And it was 75% human shit in the first one and 25% like Sonic video gamey shit. This one's a much better. I think it's kind of almost like 60% Sonic shit with 40% human shit.
That's right.
And I didn't mind the human shit. I think that this has come up a lot with the reviews that I've read online and just some responses that I've seen that really didn't like the human stuff. And I thought that because it was only there as like kind of a way to spell the Sonic stuff, I actually didn't mind it for the most part. Like the stuff totally with fine. Cyclops and his wife and the wedding stuff in Hawaii. Like, I thought it was all very funny, kind of humorous set pieces, and it all kind of eventually built to a certain point by bringing Sonic in, and it all kind of worked. I think ultimately by virtue of like kind of where it went, how it developed. So I didn't mind the human stuff in this one. Maybe not there's a dance sequence. I don't know about that, but
there's a bar sequence.
But ultimately, yeah, it's kind of doing the same thing. And I hated the bar sequence in the first one. This one kind of does a similar thing, and it's like moderately more enjoyable. But those are the moments where I'm thinking, this is a kids movie. I can't, like, I'm not going to be too mad about this. Like, but it did pull me out a little bit of just being like, oh yeah, okay, all right, all right. Yeah. But overall, I mean, I would agree with your I think what this movie has that style of humor that is like 50 jokes a minute. Like, that's how, every time Sonic opens his mouth, it's telling 17 jokes.
It's got to be
every time Jim Carrey opens his mouth, it's 34 jokes. Every time, really, most characters, anyone that's like even vaguely jokey has to have like a bunch of jokes, and a lot of the jokes are, and this is not a spoiler, but some of the jokes are like, this is like Ghostbusters, and it's like, that's not a joke. It's not funny. You're just verbally comparing something to a thing that we already know. Like if your point is it reminds you of something, you don't need a line of dialogue to explain that. And again, okay, it's a kids movie, but like, those fucking kids aren't watching Ghostbusters 1. If you're an 8-year-old watching Sonic the Hedgehog 2, your parents aren't showing you Ghostbusters 1 and 2 right before you walk in the cinema, or they haven't shown it to you when you're 5 or 6. You know what I mean? Like, that's just not so that's like a joke clearly intended for an older audience, but like again, there's no joke within that. I mean, and so I think that you said, I think 60-40 of not landing versus landing. I would go probably closer to 80-20 overall for me, of just being like, most of the humor actually doesn't land in terms of the scripted like punchiness of just being like funny, where like, Sonic is almost like a Deadpool kind of character, where he's all he does is just say dumb shit, and sometimes it's moderately funny, and sometimes you're just like, okay, that didn't work, and certain characters are that way. Like Jim Carrey, like, I mean, realistically, probably every time he has some sort of scene, he says 3 jokes. And usually the first one's funny. The second one's like, oh, all right. And then the third one, you're like, oh, fuck me. Just cut this line.
I think that the funniest person in the whole movie was Knuckles. And that's because he was the most
it was just a dry sense of humor reacting to everything. And it wasn't scripted jokes of references and bullshit. It was just him.
It's like everything here is so fucking stupid.
Because it's like a classic fish out of water kind of sense of humor. But it's played really straight with him, where it's not trying to be, look at how funny and referential I am. It's just him naturally being funny in a way that the others are not. It's a very natural sense of humor.
Knuckles is kind of thinking what we're all thinking about Sonic and everything he's got going on.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's kind of I thought he was the funniest one.
I 100% agree. I thought Idris Elba was fantastic. I think my favorite performance of all of them. You know,
Yeah.
like, Ben Schwartz is fun. He's entertaining. But you know, it's just him riffing in the booth. You know what I mean? And he doesn't feel like Sonic to me doesn't feel like a real character. He just feels like a joke of a character in many ways. And like obviously there's heart to this movie in certain ways, and the Sonic character is endearing and it's fun, kind of this playful personality. But it's mostly just how many jokes can I stuff into a minute is kind of Sonic's character in a nutshell. You know, and even like the stuff in the beginning when he's like vigilanteing about, and just like, all right,
that was terrible.
I don't need any of this shit.
The beginning
like,
of the movie was actively terrible.
This is not entertaining. This is not funny. There's no value being added to this film. In fact, I think if you cut this entire sequence, this film's better for it. And there's a lot of that of tighten up the jokes, tighten up like the cuts of like let Jim Carrey have 2 jokes that he gets in 15 seconds instead of the 3 that he gets in 20 seconds. And I think you have a tighter experience for it. But I know that I'm, sitting here bitching about all of this. All in all, it was unabashedly, much more so than the first one, a video game movie, and it leaned into those aspects as much as it really needed to. And it's more of what I wanted about it, even though it's still kind of in this Earth-based setting. I still wish it was actually in like a Green Hills zone, like actually Green Hills zone, not Green Hills, Montana, wherever the fuck. Like I wish that it wasn't afraid to do that. But at least by virtue of having all this ridiculous shit with the animated characters and Eggman, like it still felt video gamey in the ways that you wanted something like this to feel. So on the, all in all, I think it's a fairly successful take on Sonic. It's definitely an improvement from the first one. So yeah, I think, I don't know, that might be it for me, non-spoiler wise. We can get into some spoilers if you want. And well, I guess we got to do the recommendation first, but
yeah.
What about you? Any other non-spoiler thoughts or
no spoiler thoughts? We can go into recommendations.
So what's your recommendation of Sonic the Hedgehog 2? Is it a very yes, a totally fine, a shithouse?
I think it's totally fine.
Okay,
it's totally fine movie.
I'll just co-sign it right here. I agree with you. It's no more, no less. But I'm pretty sure I probably would have given the first one no better than a fine. I don't know if I went to shithouse. I don't think the first one is Wrinkle in Time and Humans tier or anything like that. It's nothing like that. But it was just like, this is hard. This is not my thing. Is how I felt about the first one. This one was overall more my thing, while still obviously carrying. This is a kids movie aspect.
I think if you have kids, this is actively a better movie.
And I think it would be a fun movie to see with kids in theaters. Like, my audience was eating it up. Maybe your audience was to a certain extent. Obviously, it didn't seem like there were fewer kids than I had in mind, but...
Yeah, I didn't have a whole lot of kids in mind. I mean, I had some people that were acting like kids in mind, but there were no kids.
Well, it's a kids movie. You just let your inner kid out, right? Isn't that how it works?
I guess so. Maybe I didn't get the memo. Maybe I'm just a dick.
Yeah, I mean, probably. I don't think you're being a dick. My one regret: I didn't drink anything before watching this movie, or while watching it, and I reckon that would actually enhance its viewability. I think that would help. Yeah.
I laughed.
And I think that's the difference. My sober perspective, I think 20% of the jokes work. 19% of those are basically just knuckles. I think if you have a beer or two in you, all right, you're getting into the 40% territory of just being like, all right, that's pretty funny. That was a good line there. And like Jim Carrey's entertaining as shit. But I think Jim Carrey to me is more funny for his mannerisms in the way, like the mustache twirling and shit like that so much than look at me flossing, that's the sort of thing where it's just like, just let the man do his thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's fucking Jim Carrey. You don't need to have him have 3 or 4 jokes in quick succession. Like, that's not how Jim Carrey is like funny to me.
No,
growing up on the Ace Venturas and and all those other movies.
I forget what type of humor that is, but yeah,
it's more slapstick. I think like for like what his kind of style is. But anyway, I don't know. It's totally fine. It's totally fine, and it's more enjoyable than totally fine, I think, if you're a kid. And it's not to like bemoan children's films or anything like that, but I think that this one, more often than not, feels like a film designed for children.
Yeah, certainly.
That adults will have a fun time with, but will probably cringe at aspects here and there, thinking, yeah, this wasn't made for me, was it? So, I don't know. That's where I stand. Any other thoughts for recommendation?
Nah, that's it.
All right. So let's do some spoilers, full spoilers for Sonic the Hedgehog 2. All right. Why don't we circle back at the start here? What was the moment that you got pulled out of? What happened there?
So the mid-credit sequence, I think it is.
Okay. Were they losing their fucking minds?
Yes. They just were screaming. Oh my god, I can't believe it. Oh my god, Shadow. Ah! It was like, all right, thank you. You actively just ruined the whole fucking scene. I can't even hear what they're saying on screen anymore. You're actively ruining it. It's cool. Looks cool. I'm out. Peace. I've had enough. I'm done. So I fucking...
My theater fucking lost their shit when Shadow was revealed. And I guess I don't really get it. Like, it's cool, man. It's like Shadow. He's Sonic with Toad. You know what I mean? Like, you know, he's got his own video game where he's got guns and shit. So, like, you know, he's like edgy or whatever. But okay, you know.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like, I guess I'm just kind of at a loss of just like, is Shadow that popular? And clearly the answer is yes, based on both of our experiences. I mean, to me, it was like a Marvel movie from like my theater of like
the reaction that they gave.
Yeah, like it was like a mid credits like revealing. I don't even know what a good approximation is, but like, you know, like fucking Avengers having Thanos in the mid-credit scene. Like, to me, it was like that sort of thing where it's just like, oh my God, Shadow! You know, like that sort of response. And I'm just like,
okay.
All right. I mean, that's cool, man. You know?
He did look cool.
I don't like Shadow.
I don't remember Shadow's backstory or anything else.
I think it's kind of, well, you probably didn't hear it, but, you know, basically he was like made by Robotnik's grandfather or something like that, like 50 years before, you know, like years and years ago. And so then he gets reactivated and then he's a real edgelord badass that, you know, is a villain for Sonic. So like, hey, you know, this is great. I mean, I think Shadow is a perfectly logical direction to go in for a Sonic 3. It's obviously making money, no doubt about it. They're already literally setting up sequel teases and shit and these things. Like, yeah, make Shadow the villain. Fuck yeah. Like that's totally cool. He's going to have his, you know, fucking guns. He's going to shoot Sonic. It'll be great. No, they'll probably forego the guns. I don't think that's too kid friendly. But like that's all well and good. You know what I mean? But it's not some earth shattering. Like, oh my God, can you believe that they put Shadow the Hedgehog in the mid credits scene to Sonic the Hedgehog 2? Like, I was like, yeah, fine, whatever, cool. I was very surprised at my theater's reaction, I'll say that. But they were eating the whole shit up, too. Maybe I just had a lot of Sonic fanboys in there, I don't know. But anyway, other spoilers.
I always liked Metal Sonic. I thought he was cool. Remember him?
Metal Sonic's a different character, right?
Yeah, totally. I think he's totally different. He's got like a jet turbine in his chest.
Yeah. Yeah, which I assume it's like Mechagodzilla kind of thing. It's just like, you do a thing long enough, and you gotta have a robot version of them as a villain.
Let's see that pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of. I mean, let's be honest. Sonic is not the most original, you know, fucking franchise or anything like that. But yeah, do Mechasonic. You know, I think the more that they bring in the characters of the video games, the more it starts to feel like the video games, which is good. You know what I mean? Like, as long as it doesn't get to the point where they're starting to use the plots from the shitty ones. You know what I mean? That's fun. You got, I mean, even, like for you and I, Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 are probably like, those are like the Sonic games for us.
Those are the best
ones. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, you got the Genesis ones, which were fun.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not, you know,
but like 1 and 2 were 3D and a little bit more plot driven, I think, than obviously the side scrolling ones that you had on the Genesis. Which
right.
Like, literally just got to go fast, you know, and just go through the levels, and it's fun, but it's not about the Sonic lore really at that point.
No,
I don't.
And there's so much Sonic lore that I'm not privy to, right? So
yeah, I mean, neither of us are diehard Sonic the Hedgehog video game fans. I mean,
but that one where he jumps out of the plane in San Fran is pretty fucking cool.
And I think that's Adventure 2. I feel like I can't remember if it's Adventure 1 or 2 that has like the snowboarding sequence, but they clearly just did the fucking thing in this movie with him like having the piece of the metal or whatever that he's like, snowboarding on. And I enjoyed that. Like that was
cool.
ridiculous, obviously, but it was fun.
It's movie's very much a fucking Indiana Jones.
It's a thrill ride, kind of
Uncharted adventure, globe-trotting adventure with Sonic, and that's cool.
And that's fine. It's Sonic Adventure, if you will.
Yeah.
I liked that about it. I liked that it wasn't just this small fake town that they've built on a set, and there's a blue CGI creature running around. Like, to me, it felt like a lot larger stakes. I mean, even just the fucking Juggernaut fucking Eggman robot at the end.
Ridiculous.
Yes. And I'm sure that design is probably lifted from one of the games or some shit. But it was fucking ridiculous, and it was great. You had
Golden
Chaos
Sonic.
Emeralds. Golden Sonic? Yeah, fucking, what is it? Does that have a specific name? Is that just Super Sonic or whatever? I don't even know.
I don't know. Super Saiyan Sonic. That's what I always knew it as.
He just went Super Saiyan, pretty much literally. I mean, that's, again, a derivative. I imagine that Dragon Ball preceded the introduction of fucking Super Sonic. I'm guessing that there is a probably direct line of when one happened, and then the creators of Sonic being like, "That's some badass shit. Make him blonde and fucking fly around and shit, man. Fuck yeah." But it was great. That was really, really fun and like satisfying to like watch how everything played out with all that. Very entertaining like action sequences in this one. Less entertaining dance sequences, like I said. It was just that's the kind of thing that like brings the plot to me for like a standstill of him having a dance off with someone, and I don't even remember where he was, some Eastern European country if I recall correctly, but I don't know. Some ridiculous shit in this movie, that's for sure.
All sorts of ridiculous shit.
I liked the wedding stuff. I thought that was very funny.
I thought that was funny too. Yeah.
But to me, that was like that. To me, felt like it was more leaning into the adult style of humor, of the catfishing and all that, and everything, kind of how that played out, and just.
Yeah.
I told Anna after I'd watched it, because she didn't see it with me. She hated the first one, famously hated the first one, had no interest in watching this one, so she had people over, and then I went and saw Sonic. I got out of the house for a couple hours to let them do their thing, and so I watched Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and when I came back, she's like, what I like, and I was just like, you would really like the Natasha Rothwell bits as much as you did in the first one, because she's the one that gets like tied up.
Okay.
In the first one, and she's the one getting married in this one, and so I was just like, honestly, there's about a 5-minute sequence in this that you would probably really enjoy, and it'll be on YouTube eventually, so you can just wait for that. Or it'll be on Paramount Plus probably even sooner than that. So that's what I'm going to show her and be like, this is Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Don't you love this? Yeah, I don't know. I had fun with it. I don't know that again, it's not a deep film. I don't think it's a film that's, we need to do some deep deconstruction of it, and
it's a real 2D movie. Sonic goes fast.
Oh, but he's a 3D character, man. How could that be? Yeah. Knuckles was great. Tails was great. Eggman was great. Sonic is, I think, the most annoying of all the animated characters.
Yeah.
To be honest. But I don't know. I don't really have anything else to like say substantially about it. Like it's a fun thrill ride. I don't know if it's going to hold up on repeat viewings or anything like that. I don't know if I'm rushing back to watch it anytime soon. But I think as a kids movie, it's a pretty successful translation of the video games. And overall, I was pleasantly surprised. Maybe not pleasantly surprised, because I thought the trailers indicated that they kind of were hitting a tone closer to what I wanted out of like the first movie.
Right.
But I was, I guess, pleasantly surprised that it wasn't just a misdirect. And no, indeed, I think they took some lessons of the first one and maybe had a little bit more money to play with. Whatever the case was, they translated it into something more my speed at least. So yeah, you down for some Sonic 3?
Absolutely, every day.
Sonic versus Shadow.
Every day.
Just make sure that you screen your audience before you really commit to watching.
I was actually super excited to watch it by myself, to be honest. You know,
have a nice unfiltered. You know, you don't have everyone influencing you. Like, it's fun to watch things in like a sold out environment. You know, at the same time,
sure.
Like a Marvel movie
on
like
the right
opening
movie
night can be really fun.
Yeah,
but something like this. Just give me a couple brews, you know, and you know it's probably what you would have done at home, right? You know, is just plop down on the couch with a couple beers.
It would have mimicked.
Would have been the viewing experience that you've enjoyed for the past several years at this point. So.
I actually like watching my movies in solitude. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah. No, there's definitely some, you know, it's there's nothing wrong with that.
It's the pristine viewing environment like that. You know.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's Sonic the Hedgehog 2 then. Am I starting? I've got a lot to get off my chest, so I can start, but I don't know if you're ready for it. Are you ready to listen? Or do you want to go first?
Let me go first.
All right, go first.
Elden Ring.
Yeah. You had been playing that, I believe, when we recorded the remainder of our Turning Red coverage. So you logged a few more hours?
Oh, yeah. I think I'm like 30-something hours in. Which is the longest I've gotten a video game in a long time.
Wow, I think that's significantly more time that you've put in it recently. I think than we chatted last about it.
Yeah, it's fucking excellent, so good. Let's see how I can make my adventure sound cool. Well, I think last time we spoke, I beat a dragon, and then I went into a mine and like found like this. Like these people, these like slaves were like mining the shit, and they try to attack me, and I kill them, and then I find a giant at the bottom of the mine, and I kick his ass. Since then, I have I found this portal, and I took it, and it took me to like this area far to the west or far to the east. And the sky is tinged red, and the ground's like fucking all wasted and shit. Like it looks like a total wasteland. It looks like a hellscape, kind of. And the place it teleported me to is called the Bestial Sanctum. And there's like this big black guy there. He didn't just he didn't make any fucking noises. And so I don't think I belong here, right? I walk outside. There's a bonfire inside. I rest at the bonfire, and then I go outside, and there's this giant fucking gargoyle with an axe, but his back's to me. So, fuck you, and I go and whack him. He fucks me up in one shot. Done. I obviously don't belong here. But I explore a little bit. Maybe I can cut some late game items and stuff, and so I scale around, and I find some cool shit. And then I run past the night guy, and then I keep riding, and I go on this bridge, and there's a fucking dragon on this bridge. And I go underneath the dragon. I just keep fucking riding. I'm riding, all right? And I just keep going. Anyways, I find this big dragon. It's just a, like, immobile dragon. He's just laying there. I kill this dragon. It gives me, like, 100,000 souls, which was incredible. Like, gave me everything. It let me level up, like, 15 times, like, with one thing. So I fucking did it. So I leave that place because that place is too hard. And I go to this castle, the Stormfront Castle. There's this big guy. It's called the Fell Omen. I fuck him up in like 3 tries because I feel like I'm overpowered now. And it was like a big cinematic thing, right? Like I think it was supposed to be a real hard fight, but I fucked him up. I go through the whole castle, and I end up fighting like the keeper of the castle. Fucked him up in like 3 times too. So I'm like overpowered for the area now. And that's pretty much where I'm at now. I'm in the area beyond the castle, which the debate is go to that wasteland fucking area and play in that area, or play in the area beyond the castle. Both of which are going to be fairly challenging. Like I feel like beyond the castle, I'm at the level where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
So it's I got to make a decision on what direction I want to go in now. But excellent game, really cool. I've been watching Moon Knight.
Yep. It's halfway through now. I think we've had 3 episodes that have aired of 6. There's only 6. Shit.
That kind of sucks. Kind of, but we'll see what they do.
You want more?
Yeah. So I think like last episode, it really hit its stride. Excited to see where it goes. I am enjoying me some Oscar Isaac, and
he's really good.
The female lead in the show is really great too. I don't know who she is, but she's really cool. I like her. She's entertaining. And there's a lot of aspects of the show that I really appreciate. I also appreciate that it doesn't feel like it feels like it's isolated in its own kind of corner of the Marvel stuff. So it doesn't feel like overtly like integrated into a larger universe, which is fun and refreshing. I watched Free Guy.
Yeah, that's right.
I thought this shit was hilarious.
It's pretty funny.
Sarah came out, I think like at the end where it gets like particularly like chick flicky, Like like the character's written for this and that, and
with like Stranger Things and the girl or whatever.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
And she goes, "What are you watching?" Because she's been in like her room, or she's been in the bedroom doing her work all night. And I was like, "I'm watching a chick flick without you." No, seriously, what is this? What is this? Why are you watching a chick flick without me? Blah 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 blah. It was really funny. That was an entertaining movie. It was
shame she didn't come out 10 minutes earlier with Ryan Reynolds on the fucking buff body or whatever the character's name was,
Yeah, dude or whatever his name is.
The dude, yeah, that seems right.
Yeah, no, it was, I thought it was Lego Movie, but less impressive than Lego Movie, but it was still entertaining. Yeah,
definitely. I agree.
I watched. What else have I watched? Shit. Oh, next weekend I go see a comedian live at the Strass Center. That'll be fun. Okay. I got tickets to that. Nate,
like a recognizable name. Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's got some Netflix specials. Nate. God damn it! I can't think of his last name. His first name's Nate, and he's on Netflix. You can do those two things. Okay. He'll pop up.
I'm sure Google would
help you out.
Just do it right now. I'll do it right now as you're speaking, and we'll find out if it actually does work.
Nate Netflix.
Nate Bargatze?
That's it. Yep.
All right. There you go.
He's a pretty funny guy. I like his comedy. What's really cool about his comedy is it's, don't get me wrong. Okay. Like anybody who listens to podcasts knows that I'm not a stranger to curse words. I'm no stranger to like anything like that. Any vulgarity. Yeah. I don't care. But when you can craft, an hour and a half segue and be like, I don't know, just tell like wholesome stories and stuff.
Yeah, it keeps it pretty clean.
Yeah, he does keep it pretty clean. I think that's especially difficult, and I think so. Yeah, I think that's
it's like a layered challenge for a comedian. Is he just can't be raunchy and edgy and everything, and like that's the sort of thing that like most comedians are going to go for.
And it always works. Don't get me wrong. It's fucking hysterical, right?
It's easy.
And there's better comedians that are raunchy and not good comedians that are raunchy, right? So it's not to like degrade the ones that are raunchy, but when you're not, I think that, I don't know, it speaks volumes of your ability to write and kind of craft these shows. So anyways, he's a very clean dude. And I think he's wildly hilarious. Sarah's aunt actually showed him to us, and like I said, I thought he was great. What else have I been up to? I feel like I've watched something else recently, but I finished season 1 of Euphoria. Did I tell you about that?
I believe you were maybe just about finished with it last time.
I finished season 1 of Euphoria.
Maybe you had finished it. I don't know if you talked about it like with specifics though. Anyway,
the finale was incredible. Absolutely fucking like oof, hit you hard. Like good finale. Started to start season 2. Been watching American Idol. It's a lot of fun. Platinum ticket winner dropped out all of a sudden, which is interesting. Plot twist.
I saw something like a headline about that, but I didn't.
Yeah, like the blonde chick, like 17-year-old blonde chick dropped out. I think I just saw.
Yeah.
She was really good. So maybe she got like a record deal or something somewhere. I don't know, but she was definitely very talented. And I think that's about it. I think that's all I've been up to off the top of my head anyways. Can't think of anything else.
All right. Are you
What
ready
you been
for my
up to?
list?
Let's do it.
All right. So it's very all over the place. I haven't committed to one particular medium of thing that I've been enjoying in probably the past couple weeks at least. I watched the Uncharted film the last day that it played in the theater close to me. So I sat down and watched Tom Holland.
Holy shit!
And Marky Mark and Mark Wahlberg.
Did Marky Mark have a mustache?
This is, I mean, no one cares, obviously, but
I need to know if fucking Marky Mark had a Scully mustache, because if he didn't have a Scully mustache...
He shows up in the mid-credit scene with a mustache, and it felt like it was Uncharted Origins. The whole film was trying to set up these people, kind of getting to them to the point of where you see them in the first video game and beyond. I actually didn't think it was a bad film.
Ooh, hot take. Tell me more.
I enjoyed it overall. I actually think that it captured the spirit and kind of feel of Uncharted, which is obviously just Indiana Jones, Tomb Raider. It's just all of those. It's it's a pretty traditional national treasure, globetrotting adventure kind of thing. Have fun with it. They're looking for gold, blah blah blah, and someone's going to stand in their way. It really hit all of those aspects actually really, really well, and it had some good, fun set pieces that felt Uncharted-esque. Now, obviously, there's the fucking, the cargo plane with the shit falling out, which is just lifted from Uncharted 3, and that was whatever. That was kind of lame, but that was pretty much how the film begins. But there's some other shit that was, over the top, but in, the right sort of Uncharted way. The downside is that Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg are fucking terrible. They're so miscast and just unbelievable in these roles. And they're not even it's not even that they're written poorly or anything like that. It's just that these two people have no fucking business being in this movie. And obviously, yes, I have seen, I've played all the Uncharted games. Haven't finished 4, but I've beaten the other 3. And I haven't played Lost Legacy either. I know who Nathan Drake is, and I know who Victor Sullivan is. I know who these characters are supposed to be, and yes, I understand this is not a one-to-one adaptation of a video game to the movie, but at least make some sort of fucking goddamn effort. You know what I mean? They just don't even resemble these characters in any way. Yeah, Tom Holland's yet too young for it, but beyond that, he doesn't act like Nathan Drake. And Marky Mark acts well, you fucking guessed it, he acts like Marky Mark, because that's all he can do. He's got one mode, is Marky Mark. So those two, unfortunately, I think really, really held the film back. And I expected that going in. I was pleasantly surprised that it managed to be a fairly Uncharted-y kind of film in other aspects.
Just felt like Uncharted with different characters?
It was Uncharted with,
Tom
it was
Holland
an Indiana Jones with less charming protagonists than Uncharted should offer. And it's a weird waste of Antonio Banderas, who's not in it very much, I'll say. And he's set up to be the villain, but he's kind of not really. And I think that, if you have an actor of his caliber, lean into that. But ultimately, it felt to me like, oh no, they could only afford to have him on set for a day, so they kind of just did what they could with and that's why they were able to land an actor of his caliber, is because that's all they could afford, or that's all he would agree to. Be like, I'm not going to appear in this piece of shit. Oh, I'll $5 million for 3 hours of work. Okay,
deal.
All right, I'll do that. Yeah, pretty much how it felt. But it was fine. And the reason I saw it in theaters when I did is because Sony, most of the other studios, have an easy platform. All the Paramount stuff comes to Paramount Plus 45 days after. WB stuff comes, the Batman's coming out on fucking HBO Max really soon. So all these movies usually have some sort of way that they come to streaming fairly soon. Sony doesn't have anything like that right now. I think they have some sort of deal with Netflix coming up, but I don't know if it applies to a lot of these films. So not that I'm going to watch it anytime soon, but Venom 2 just came to stars a month ago, and that shit came out half a year ago. And I was just I'm curious about this Uncharted film. I would like to see it, but I'm not going to pay $20 for VOD because fuck that. And I'm not going to wait for it to come to Stars, a service that I don't even have in 6 months, because also fuck that. I have A-List. I'm just going to A-List this shit on a Thursday afternoon, and so that's what I did. That's why I watched it.
Nice.
And you could do far worse. You could do far worse. It's honestly about Sonic tier overall of like video game movie quality. It really is, with the exception that I think Sonic has better characters and better performances overall. But Uncharted is more my speed in terms of like action style, feel, and humor and stuff like that. It just, yeah, I mean, they just unfortunately screwed the pooch in terms of casting. And I think they'll make more because I think it was fairly successful overall. And I think there's a way to make a better version, but I don't think it's ever going to overcome the hump of these two people just not being anything like her. Even if you give Marky Mark gray hair and the mustache, he's still Marky Mark. You know, it's just.
You can't see anything other than Marky Mark, or he just continues to act like Marky Mark.
Both, I think, for me. But anyway, it's solid. It really is solid. And that's far more credit that I'm giving to it than I expected to based on the trailer.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I did not expect that.
So yeah, it's about the same quality as the first Tomb Raider movie, if that helps. Yeah.
Angelina Jolie?
Well, I'm sorry, I should say the most recent Tomb Raider movie, the Alicia Vikander one.
Oh,
honestly, probably the Angie one too, to a lesser extent. I haven't seen that one in a long fucking time.
That
I haven't
one's
seen
pretty
Cradle
shit.
of Life. I think it's I liked it back in the day, but I bet if I watched either of those Angie ones, they'd be like, "Wow, this is really fucking bad." So I think it's probably better than those actually. But in terms of comparing it to my nostalgic memories of those films, it's about the same mark. The only other movie that I've watched, and unsurprisingly, this was at Anna's request. I think we made some sort of deal to like we watched something, more at my speed, and then we watched the Lizzie McGuire movie on Disney Plus.
Wow!
Yeah. Have you ever seen that?
No.
I never watched Lizzie McGuire when it was a TV show. But obviously, I saw the ads for it, just being a kid watching Disney Channel and shit. It was fun. I had fun with the movie. I'll confess, we were drinking, obviously. I mean, what else is one to do when confronted with watching the Lizzie McGuire movie? But I did have fun with it. Hillary Duff, the other one.
Hillary Duff, yep.
She has a sister named Haley. Hillary Duff, she's good. She's funny. It's like a silly sort of thing where she goes on I think it's a summer vacation with some classmates, and so they go to Italy, and then she looks suspiciously similar to like an Italian pop star, and she gets confused with her, and then she gets mixed up with like the pop star's partner. So it's I don't know. It's
I wish somebody would confuse me for somebody famous.
Yeah,
sounds like
she gets the nice royal treatment, and it's pretty fun. I did enjoy it. I mean, it's breezy. It's like an hour and a half. It's it's kind of schlocky and silly, but you could tell like it's like a Disney Channel thing, but with increased like theater quality production values.
Right.
And so that kind of helps. Like, it's just like, it doesn't feel like, because I watched a fucking Mary Kate and Ashley movie a while back, and it was just a fucking ad for the whatever the shit they were hawking at that time. This was clearly not that. I mean, it was kind of just very much like a look how great Italy is, and it did make me want to go to Italy. So I'm like, all right, I guess mission accomplished. But I had fun with it. And I think I don't think this is a spoiler for my wedding, but I think there's a song in the Lizzie McGuire movie that's going to make it to our wedding playlist. So there you go.
Wow, incredible.
Very incredible. All right, TV show wise, the big one, I think maybe the biggest one of the episode, I finished Avatar, The Last Airbender.
Dude.
So we, like basically the Sozin's Comet is basically like, it's a fucking movie, right? It's like an hour and a half movie.
Yeah.
So we treated it like that. We watched it, the same night. I think we paused a couple times to be fair, but it was like, this is an event. We want this to be an event. We're going to finish this. And honestly, it snuck up on me. Like, it feels like, there's a lot of episodes, especially towards the end, where they're just like, I'm a kid and we're just fucking around. We're hanging out and like, oh shit. And like, I'll just challenge the Fire Lord after the comet passes, no big deal. And they're like, actually, the Fire Lord's going to destroy the whole fucking world, so you better do it now. And then it kind of, and then obviously everything happens.
Get your shit together, Aang. It's time to fucking show up.
Yeah. It was fucking epic and funny, and like just like the buildup of everything was just so perfectly done. And honestly, I mean, Avatar, what an incredible show. I mean, obviously,
so good, right?
I have you in my ear saying that. I had Enrique in my ear saying that. I had Anna in my ear saying that. Like everyone everywhere is basically being like, "This is a fucking amazing show." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll watch it sometime." Anna gave me the push, and I'm glad that she did, because it just is a really, really fantastic show. Just super well written with lovable characters that you love to like kind of follow the arcs of, and whether it's Aang frozen in ice to the Avatar, all of them have some sort of really, really discernible arc, and then the characters you meet along the way, like your King Boomies, your Sukis, your Toph, fucking Toph, man, I love Toph. She's hilarious. To Zuzu, to Zuko's, like all of it is just so well done. And even fucking Azula, kind of the opposite direction of just absolutely fucking losing it towards the end.
That fight though, that fucking fight. The fight, all the fights were fantastic. I mean, I was thrilled with it. I mean, he just fucking takes his power to fucking
yeah,
do the fire shit.
Yeah. That was fucking badass.
Just makes them worthless. Just
yeah.
Oh man, fucking cool.
That's badass. And like, honestly, it's a really tall task. The ending of anything. The ending.
Yeah.
How do you craft a
satisfying
satisfying ending that is going to leave everyone kind of happy? And I think Avatar, TV shows particularly, because, if you're watching this live, you're talking about years of your life that you're spending with these characters. Like for me, obviously, it's a span of a few months because I'm watching.
True.
It after it's all aired.
But I mean, you're talking.
But you're still sinking a lot of like emotional investment into all these characters and hoping that this ends in like a good way for everyone. And it stuck the landing in a way that I think I couldn't tell you the last TV show that I've watched that really, really stuck the landing and this satisfying of a manner. Like before this, we watched The West Wing, and like that was real enjoyable, but like The West Wing went through phases where characters go in and out and and stuff like that. This one, obviously, you have your core cast with a few additions that you kind of tack on throughout the series, but all in all, it's Aang, Katara, and Sokka by the end, who are kind of your core three. And so you want nothing but the best for these people, for these characters, and I think just the way that it resolves everyone's story and arc and brings everyone together, like it does it in an epic fashion with the fights and everything, but it's just a really emotional and satisfying conclusion for everyone. They just crushed it. They really just nailed it in terms of the execution, all of it. So yeah. So I understand. I understand the hype. I understand the praise. I think we're going to take a break and then move into Korra, which you haven't watched, I'm pretty sure. Is that right?
No, I haven't watched that at all. Yeah, no.
So maybe you should watch that too.
We'll watch that at the same time. Maybe then we can do an episode on Korra. That sounds fun.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but Avatar, man, fucking excellent stuff. Avatar: The Last Airbender.
The comic book store that I just found in Zephyr Hills had an Aang statue. And it looked fucking rad, dude. It was
thought
so
about
cool.
it, didn't you?
I did. I actually did.
Thought long and hard about it. It's not where I thought we were going to go. I know there are comics that continue the storyline of Avatar. I'm curious to read some of those. So I may look into ways to read those.
I did get some prints at that place, though.
Oh, I see a Spider-Gwen print. Very nice. Very nice. Is that Ronin? Is that Star Wars Ronin? That's badass as fuck. Nice. Oh, and the Pattinson.
Yeah,
Pattinson
so
as the Batman.
I
cool.
couldn't. They had a lot of board games and stuff at the place, and it's like I don't really want to spend like $60 on a game that I don't think I don't know when I'm going to play it, and I don't necessarily want to. Like he had the full run of The Boys, and he had the full run of Invincible. It's like but I don't want to spend like $200 or $300 on comic books that I don't know if I'm going to read.
Right.
So let me find something inexpensive to buy. That way I can support the business because I think it's awesome. It's a really cool comic book store.
Cool. Yeah, nice. You can put those in the man cave, right? You know? I feel like those are classy. Those are classy enough.
Maybe the Spider-Gwen one's probably the most classy one, I think. I mean, he looks cool too.
The Batman's pretty fucking classy, man.
Yeah, so I don't know. Put him somewhere, I guess.
We'll put him somewhere. You can rotate him too, if you don't put them all up. But anyway.
What else you been up to?
Second episode of Halo I watched. I thought it was fine.
I've heard high praise on this Halo show, but I also heard that he doesn't wear his mask and like and he's working with other Master Chiefs and other Spartans, I guess.
Yeah.
And I just have some grievances about it conceptually.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I think it's an attempt to give him more personality and make him more relatable by making him not this faceless protagonist, which I think conceptually I can understand while also acknowledging, well, that doesn't feel very Halo to me. You know what I mean?
Like, I found Master Chief completely compelling in the video game.
Yes.
And he was just a...
I think the simplest way to say it is it's not really like the video games. It's got the setting, it's got the armor and like the feel and stuff like that. Hard to tell exactly whether they're just carving their own canon and basically doing whatever, but it does, I don't know. It feels like it could build into being closer to like what the video game storylines kind of follow. So it's hard to say if this is like definitively like maybe this is leading to the definitive Master Chief who doesn't take his helmet off or anything like that, and he's just the ultimate badass. I don't know. Or if it's just we took the games as a blueprint and then we just kind of have done our own thing and run with it. It's hard for me to say. I'm only 2 episodes in. I think 4 have actually aired. So I'm behind as of now, but I've watched one more since we last talked about it, so I figured I'd bring it up again. But the production values are pretty good. The guy that plays Master Chief, I think, is pretty good, even if I am seeing way too much of him, because he's not wearing the fucking helmet all the time. Most of the time, he's not wearing the helmet, actually. But I think it's solid enough that I'll keep going with it and, see where it goes. I'm not so beholden to the Halo lore and stuff from the video games that if they're changing a lot of things that it's going to bother me. Like there's probably a lot of changes that are happening that I'm not even noticing necessarily because I'm not I don't know that I played a story past Halo 3 and there have been like fucking 3 or 4 games since then. So I don't know. I'm going to stick with it. I'll report back in, as I keep watching it. But I solid enough that I'll enjoy it, whenever I have some downtime. I'm just watching it on my own. It's not an Anna and I show or anything like that. So it's just kind of like whenever I can find the time to carve out that I just watch it and enjoy it. But my overall experiences with everything have inspired me to play way too many fucking video games. I've just started a bunch of video games, which is unlike me. Usually I like to pick a game and stick with it. But I've just been like all over the place in terms of my inspirations. So I started Uncharted Drake's Fortune on the PS5, part of the Uncharted collection. I'm like chapter 6 in it or whatever. It's fun, man. It's satisfying shooting. It's satisfying platforming. And it's the Nathan Drake that I know and love, and the Victor Sullivan, the Sully that I know and love. And it feels good. I also picked up, I've had the Master Chief collection for ages, but I installed it on my Xbox, which I also haven't played in ages.
Nice.
And I've been playing Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary, which is the reskinned version of the first game where they prettied it up with new textures and everything like that. It's the same exact game, just, like a remaster with like new HD graphics and whatnot.
Okay.
And I'm having fun with it. I haven't played a first-person shooter in a while. I really feel like I've drifted from that genre. Probably since we stopped playing Overwatch, it's been years. It's been a while. So that's kind of like, it's kind of refreshing going back to it. And I've been playing, this is not related to other things I've been doing, obviously. I heard a lot of recommendations, like this is an amazing game, I should play it. So I got it on sale. It's a game called Inscryption. Have you ever heard anything about this?
I have not. What is it?
It's I think what I understand is it is not exclusively this one genre, and it kind of turns into a different thing eventually, but I haven't gotten there. Right now it's a deck building roguelike in the way, and like very similar to Slay the Spire, but with like very horror inspired aesthetic to it. Basically like you like wake up in this cabin with like this faceless thing, you can only see his eyes, and you're just playing this game against him.
Oh, that sounds fucking cool.
But you can get up and like walk around the cabin too. It's like almost like a point and click kind of thing where you can interact with the items around the cabin, and like you can open a safe if you find like the right clues to find the combination, and then there's a new card in there that you can use in your deck, and there are like certain cards in the deck that are like sentient, and they talk to you and they give you hints about like what's going on and what the game is, and they're just like, why are we trapped in here, kind of thing. It's like really sinister and dark, but it's fucking cool. It's a really cool really cool way that they've designed the game, I think, overall. So it's like Inscryption with the middle part being crypt, as in like a crypt, CRY.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
So I have it on Steam. I don't know if we have the game sharing thing. We used to have that where you could just play each other's games. So if you want to do that, if you're needing a break from Elden Ring or whatever, feel free. But
I don't know if I wonder if I don't know. I have to find a way to make it work on a Mac, which I know there's ways to do it.
I'm sure it's compatible. I don't know, but yeah, this is the first game I've bought for a computer in a long time because it's only on computers. I assume Mac as well, but obviously definitely PCs too. I was just like, all right, that sounds cool. I'll buy a Switch version, or I'll buy a PS5 version. It's just like, nope, I can only get it on the computer. Okay, all right, well, it's not a graphically intensive game. I can run it on my rig, that's just obviously a few years old at this point. But definitely recommend it. It's very cool. I'm excited to keep playing with it. I basically have been playing it like super late at night, when it's like eerie as shit and creepy, and the sound effects, like I have my headphones on and it like fucking, rattles your bones here and there. But it's good.
Totally.
It's good fun. And last but not least, something I feel like I probably could have talked about earlier and actually didn't. Live music. We talk about live music on this podcast sometimes, right? We talk about stand-up comedy. We can talk about live music.
Absolutely. Talk about it all.
I went to a VIP. I did the VIP experience to see my favorite band, Underoath, about a month ago, actually, man. At this point. And I understand that you probably wouldn't have appreciated it the way that I did. And I understand that probably the people listening to this may not have appreciated it in the way that I did. But it was fucking awesome. It was so fun. It's actually the second time that I've done a VIP stuff for Underoath. I did one in Orlando a while back. But this was very cool. Basically, I went and saw... basically, we got early access to the venue, and basically it was like a Q&A session with the band. And it was like distanced because COVID. We don't want to give the band COVID, so they have to cancel their tour dates and whatnot. So it's, ask questions of the band. They're just sitting on the stage. It's very casual. So I asked a question. It was very cool to interact with them. Again, I had met them previously, like I said, in Orlando. And then they played a song. Like they did like a sound check thing where they played a song. And so I was like right up against the fucking rail. There's like 30 of us maybe, part of the VIPs. So that was awesome. It was really cool. We got a signed poster, which is now hanging up in my room. I also bought a vinyl while I was there, and we got a shirt as well. So it was like a really, really cool package for really not that much money for what you got. And then obviously come back later for the show, and the show itself was fucking incredible. I feel like we saw Churches. Anna and I saw Churches a while back. That was like our first post-COVID concert that we've been to. But this one to me is like, it's a great venue that they played at in Philly, and it was just so much fun. It was just so much fun to just take it all in. I was able to find a good spot to just stand without being like crushed by people fucking moshing, And I just loved it, man. My ears were ringing for days after. I'm sure it did no favors for my hearing overall, but it was really, 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 it was a blast. I love live music, you know, and it had been like, same thing happened with churches where like it had been so long since I'd seen a concert, obviously because the world shut down and, you know, time and space turned into a black hole, that when you come back to it, same thing, like probably like going back to the theater where it was just like, oh my God, this is awesome. Like, you know, like I forgot that things were meant to be experienced in this particular way. And like for you, maybe it was less of an adjustment because you've got fucking 2 ridiculous goddamn amps in your fucking living room, and you know, and you could fairly closely emulate the theater experience. For myself, I mean, I've got a nice sound system, but it's not earth shattering. It's not amazing, but it's pretty good, you know. And I've got a pretty decent TV, but you know, it's not a theater. It's not a theater environment. So it's the same thing with live music. Just going back to it and hearing how fucking loud it is and like the way that it's supposed to be. It's just satisfying on a level that you can't appreciate until you're in the moment. So it was really fun. It was a really, really great time. You know, makes me want to go see more fucking bands and more shit live. So we're doing a music festival at the end of May. We'll be seeing Tears for Fears and Garbage in June. Actually, just a few days before Mr. Andrew Meadows ties the knot.
That's it. It's coming. It's right around the bend.
So yeah, it's exciting. So anyway, that's what I've been up to. Lots of things, obviously, to talk about, but yeah, been up to some good things, obviously. So anyway, I think that might be it for this episode. What do you think?
Sounds good to me. That's it.
All right. Thank you all for listening. If you enjoyed what you heard, please spread the word. You can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/watchreviewrepeat. You can get early access to all of our regular episodes, as well as timed exclusive access to any future bonus episodes that we do, like we did for Studio 666 most recently. Our website is watchreviewrepeat.com. You can get helpful links to all of our social medias there and you know, listen to the episodes, whatever else you want to do on there. So in terms of social media stuff, we're on Twitter at WRRPod, on Facebook if you just search for Watch Review Repeat, and then we're also on Instagram at Watch Review Repeat there. If you want to send any questions, comments, or suggestions so we can have an addition to the Listener's Corner on another episode, send whatever our way, watchreviewrepeat@gmail.com. Our intro and outro track is Mechanolith by Kevin MacLeod, licensed under the Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0 license. Next episode, I guess the official word is we don't know yet. Fantastic Beasts just dropped in theaters.
Ooh, fabulous.
So we could see that. I'm not overly thrilled about it, but we could do it, you know, if so inclined. But what I'll say is, come April 22nd, The fucking Northman will be in theaters. So,
oh my gosh, that's the one.
I know that we'll cover that one. So it's just a question of do we do anything in the interim, or do we just go straight to The Northman? So I don't know. We've obviously had we had a lot of episodes that have dropped recently. So we'll see. I guess stay tuned, and Andrew and I will figure it out, and we'll go from there. So I think that's all I got. Why don't you take us out, Andrew?
Take care now. Bye-bye then.
Laters on the Minjay.